What with the hay fever and stuff totally messing me up, I thought I'd crush her before the stream. I know how to crush it. Hi everyone, it's Az here from HeelvsBabyface. We are approximately, give or take, an hour or 2 or 3 or 4, 50 hours away from the launch of Classic WoW, and I must confess, I'm a little bit excited. Although, over the course of the last couple of days, I have been a little bit concerned and a little bit worried. We'll go into that later on in the video. But just the very thought of going back to Classic WoW, the very thought of having a, when I say stable, I mean an official place where we can play the classic version of the game, i.e. not a private server where you don't know if Blizzard are going to hit them with a DMCA takedown, or the, you know, the Nostarius, which builds up a great community, a huge community, and then nixes it. And all the palaver that was caused around there. So we can create a classic WoW character. We can play the classic version of the game and wake up in the morning and feel fine, knowing that our characters are safe and secure as best they can be, and not, logging on to find out that everything's been ripped down. And, I know what some people are saying. They're like, yeah, but as Blizzard, I know. Trust me, I know. It's what I have to do. I have to separate church from state. I have to separate the game itself from the company. The same with Apex Legends. I really like playing Apex Legends. I've had to go back into training for a video I'm going to do shortly. And I do love the game. I have a load of fun on it. The recent business with Respawn, disgraceful. Absolutely disgraceful company behaviour. And it does honestly baffle me how they haven't come out and just said, look, we are so sorry. Sorry, we went to bed, we woke up, and then we realised what the hell we'd done, and we just want to say we're really sorry about it. But no, because it's 2019 and the whole thing is, hey, do you know what would be really good? What's that? If we just get into conflict with our customer base. That seems to be the rule of the year, for some bizarre reason. But so, yeah, I've had to separate the fact that, I'm desperately not happy with Blizzard. Their actions, their direction going forward, and all that kind of stuff. But I just want to play Classic. I just want to have a good time on Classic. And for all the rose-tinted spec people, I'll just quickly reiterate. When I left WoW a couple of years back, October 2016, something like that anyway, nearly 3 years ago, that was when I decided I was done and dusted with the game. And one of the very first things that I actually did when quitting was say to myself, were those days just, looking back on them now, am I just looking through rose-tinted specs? When you're with a girl and you break up, and you break up because all the horrible reasons why you shouldn't be together. And then 6 months down the line, you can't remember any of them, and all you're thinking about is, oh, well, this was good with her, and that was good with her, and the other was, and all that kind of stuff. So I decided when I did quit WoW to go onto a private server. And then I could see for myself, and then I could be like, okay, yeah, it doesn't hold up to today. In today's age, of course in the day it was, but it doesn't hold up against today's modern version of the game, and I've just got to let it go. And I created this character on the private server, and I was just like, oh my god, this is great. Oh my god! I'm managing my character! I'm casting spells and mana's going! I've run out of mana! I'm being hit and it really hurts because I'm wearing cloth. You know, just all these great things. Oh, I'm tackling 3 people and they're in on my face. And I'm dead. All these things were just like, great. Oh, I've got ranks and spells now, which have different costings. That's the one. That's quite difficult for me to say. And so I have to judge whether or not to go for that harder spell that hits harder, but at the same time costs more, and will eat more of my mana pool, or to go for the slightly lower costing one for now, and therefore I'll have a slightly more mana pool, but it's like resisting spells, missing spells. Oh! All of this kind of stuff, which just made the experience so much more fun. And I had to stop. I had to stop playing because I said to myself, if I continue, I'm going to fall down this rabbit hole. And I could wake up, as we discussed at the beginning of the video, I can wake up and boom, it's all gone. Blizzard have pulled everything. So with 50-ish hours until the release of Classic, and yes, I will be streaming it, and yes, I'll be creating a guild for anyone to join. Well, apart from... I'm joking. We have this post that came up a day ago from Blizz. We will remove the limitation of only creating a total of 3 WoW Classic characters per WoW account. August the 26th, 6 p.m. So a couple of days, yeah. And I imagine that's 6 p.m. Pacific time, so that'd be the 27th at 2 a.m. in the UK. Thereafter, players will be able to create up to 10 characters per Classic realm for a total of 50 characters across all Classic realms per WoW account. Additionally, we will open the following new realms in this region. So they're actually going to bring out 4 new realms. 2 in the Eastern, 2 in the Pacific, PvP, PvE. Why? Server congestion. How can it be server congestion as it hasn't even launched? Now, the servers are full. They're already full of people who have created characters. All these characters are just waiting to go. So, literally, by popular demand, Blizzard have released more servers. They issued warnings over the course of the last couple of days, stressing if you have characters on these servers, you are liable for hefty wait times coming into the release of Classic WoW. To avoid disappointment, blah, 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 blah. Move your characters. And now they're responding even further by adding these additional realms to the list. At this time, all realms that have a full or high population tags, which to my knowledge is all of them right now. When I logged on yesterday, just to have I actually recorded a video yesterday, I never released it. I was just gushing about Classic, and afterwards I just watched it back and I was just like, no one's going to be interested in you just waffling on about this and that. So I decided not to release it. But everything, I think my server was high, and another server was high, and all the other servers were full. So that's every server. We urge players on realms marked full or high to plan to play on one of these new realms to avoid the longest queues and to help spread the player population as evenly as possible and provide the best play experience for everyone. Look, I can't blame Blizzard for this. Well, kind of in a way. I don't know. I think that when a Classic releases, it's just going to be... Now, I'm not saying that it's necessarily going to stay that way, but I think for the release of it, it's going to be massive. Absolutely massive. And if they haven't got the realms to cope, that could cause some issues. So, let's get on to the second major discussion point about this video. And this is something that I was concerned about. I was very concerned about. This worried me, and Blizzard have responded accordingly. There's a new add-on released called Classic LFG. Same way like Group Finder. I wish Blizzard would remove the add-on because it will ruin the game experience and its original communication danker. Right. I'm not saying the person that created this add-on did it in any shape, way or form to diminish the classic experience or whatever. But I don't think they understand what differentiates classic from the current version of the game. LFG, looking for aid, these are tools which are absolutely convenient. Really convenient. You can be wherever you want to be, doing whatever you want to do, which is normally just sitting around in a major city doing nothing. Laps to Dalaran and all that. And you can get pulled into a dungeon, pulled into a raid at any time. Ultra convenient. Convenient doesn't mean good. Because the convenience of things like this, when they first came out, destroyed the open world. There was no reason to be out in the world. You would always have people out in the world travelling to destinations, travelling to dungeons and all this kind of stuff. And when you're out there, you kind of, fart about a bit as well. From time to time, not all the time, but from time to time. Whereas when they brought them in, you just had cities, absolutely populated cities of people sat there waiting for queues to pop. Nobody's talking, nobody's interacting, nothing. It destroyed the social interaction of people. And if you say to me, well, yeah, but look, this is going to be slightly different. This isn't going to be cross-realm. This is just going to be per realm, all that kind of stuff. Right. How many times have you heard this story when it relates to the World of Warcraft? I was really shy. I had terrible trouble interacting with people. And then I played the World of Warcraft or a MMORPG. And I had to communicate with people to get groups or whatever, and I started to talk to others, and then I got invited to a guild, and then I've made the best friends of my life. I met my girlfriend, I met my boyfriend, I met my furry. We got married, whatever it may be. You hear these stories all the time. When you have tools like this, it's literally encouraging people who do hide in their shells not to even bother. Why come out my shell when I don't even have to? And even people who are social buds that like to bloom, if you are just going into these queues, getting these people, yes, it doesn't automatically teleport you or anything like that. Yes, you still have to do the travel. It's the process, and it's the mentality of the process as well. If you artificially get people, if you in a very sterile way group people together, then they're probably going to interact in a very sterile way, which means not at all. Not all the time, not absolutely guaranteed by any stretch of the imagination. But what is wrong with interacting in the respective channels? Chat channels. Hey, I am looking for a group, or I am looking to put a group together. I am a tank, I'm a healer, I'm a DPS. What is wrong with participating? What is wrong with putting it out there? We've seen how they affect the current versions of the game. We see how interaction in these events is now nominal, comparative to how it used to be. When you push people, when you encourage people to interact in chat channels, then you tend to get interaction between people. And they build those social bonds. And then they can get invited to those guilds. And then they can make those friends and those relationships. And I'm not saying in 2019 that is absolutely going to happen. And it's going to be a haven of angels and all this kind of stuff. I'm not saying that at all. But that is your best chance to. That is your best chance to. And when you're in these dungeons, they are going to require communication, particularly the latter ones. Maybe not the early ones, you know, they should be relatively okay, relatively. But they are going to involve communication. And so if you have sterile tools like this, then you're probably going to get people of the mindset, yeah, group them together, let's move to the dungeon. Summon me. I'm staying in the town, summon me. I'm busy, don't summon me. And then you get in there, and there's a wipe on a pack because they didn't understand the necessity to CC this or to do that. And then the mentality is, oh, this is hard, bye. You encourage that sort of detached behaviour from the community, from the people playing the game, from your player base. Again, this isn't an absolute science or anything like that whatsoever. But I have somebody who's played the game since 2007 to today, I have noticed a distinct correlation between social engagement and the addition of these tools for convenience. And it destroyed them. It destroyed the social element of the game. It destroyed guilds. It destroyed the necessity for these things. It destroyed the whole job lot. So Blizzard have said, we are closely following the community discussion around this add-on for WoW Classic, as well as analysing it to make sure we understand how it works. After careful examination, we believe the nature of Classic LFG is incompatible with our social design for Classic. Thus, in an upcoming patch in the weeks to follow launch, we will be adding restrictions to the Classic add-on API that will significantly limit this add-on and others like it. And I really, really hope that they do this solidly. If this is what you want, play the current version of the game. There is a reason why people are wanting Classic WoW. They're wanting that experience. This isn't oh, hey folks, we're re-releasing the game, but we're doing it in the manner that we've got the current version. No, it might not be for you. You might be more inclined to play the current version. Oh, actually, I like my quality of life. I like my convenience. I like my brain to be switched off. That might be more to your thing. But don't try and force it onto Classic. You shit. Don't try and force it onto Classic, because that is not the reason why people have been asking for this for years and years and years and years and years. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how Classic does, and I want it to do well. I really do want it to do well. But if it does prove to be a flash in the pan, if it does prove to be a fad, we'll find out soon enough. But I just think there is a significant interest that people can balance, particularly more hardcore WoW fans, can balance potentially both games, you know, to a very copeable, a very manageable degree. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. If you did, do get a thumbs up, and also subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Media and Twitch for live streaming. Links are in the description box down below, and I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. You take care. I waffled on for a long time, didn't I? Bye for now.